A little bit now about some different keyboard shortcuts that can save you some time. I'm using a MacBook Pro, so when you hear me say Command, that's equivalent to using the Control key on your PC. Um, First thing I want to talk to you about is moving the graphics view. When folks first start working with GeoGebra, they'll often use this Move Graphics View tool to change our view, like what part of the axes we're seeing, what part of the grid. So the disadvantage of this is, let's say that you're working with a triangle and you want to change your view. You have to click over here and move things around. Then you have to move back to the triangle tool if you want to resume your work. Well, actually, if you just hold down the Shift key, you can stay in the tool that you're currently in and just move the axes around without ever moving back over here. So that's a nice shortcut. Similarly, underneath the this rightmost icon, you have the zoom in and zoom out tools, and they work the same way as you would expect. If I want to zoom in here on the origin, I just click on the origin, and my zoom is centered on the point I click. You can zoom out by clicking on this wherever you want to zoom to. Now the deal is, once again, you have to move over to this tool and select these to accomplish that task, and you might not want to do that. Perhaps you're playing around with the triangle and you just want to quickly zoom in or zoom out. You can do that by hitting Command Shift plus to zoom in, Command Shift minus to zoom out. I find that handy. That's similar to other software, like your web browser will behave that way, and other softwares, that key sequence zooms in and out. Next thing I want to talk to you about is undo. You'll notice up in the upper right-hand corner of the GeoGebra window, there's an undo button here. It'll take you back various steps in your construction. Now, you'll notice in the edit menu, there's also undo and redo. And actually, the menu items hint at keyboard shortcuts. Another way to undo is on the Mac, Command Z, on the PC, Control Z. If you hit Shift and then Command or Control Z, that redoes your last step. So let's try this out. I'm hitting Command and then Z. That takes me back a step. And then if I hit Shift and Command Z, it redoes the step. So just simple shortcuts that you might not know about unless you play around a bit with the software. Third thing is the algebra view. You can actually, right here, people will hide the algebra view by clicking here on this little X. You could also go to the View menu and check the algebra view. And notice it says Shift Command A. So if I hit Shift Command A, that hides the algebra view. Clicking on it again makes it appear. If you do that with S, Command Shift S, that shows the spreadsheet or hides it. Command Shift S. That's kind of handy. To change the scale on their axes, you hover over the axis, and if you hit the Shift key, press it down, keep it held, and drag, you can change the scale of the X or Y axis. This is handy. Rather than otherwise, you right click on the axes and you can change the scale from the menu option. This is much faster though. Just hovering over, hitting shift, holding it down, and dragging. Try that. Okay, let's talk next about entering some symbols. Say for instance we're going to define a value called, I'll call it the value, which has pi in it. You'll notice off here in the input bar there's a little Greek letter alpha. If you click on this, it brings up a palette of different symbols. So let's say that I wanted to have the value equaling pi plus e. You hit enter and it calculates that value for you. It's kind of handy. Also, if you're having, let's say we had the angle about 30 degrees. Underneath this palette, there's also symbols for the degree symbol, some Boolean values here, negation symbol. So it's pretty handy. You'll also notice a little bit to the right of the Greek letter alpha, there's this little button here. It looks like an up and down arrow. This holds the history of what you've typed in the past. So if there's a command that you've typed in that you want to bring back, it's easy enough to select one of these and you could edit it or type it in again. Saves time. Instead of typing the same commands repeatedly, just know that your history can be accessed here. So that's about it for keyboard shortcuts now. I just thought these would be handy. Steve and I thought you would enjoy knowing about these before we proceed with our future sketches.